And here we go. Yellow versus blue for this one. Vale versus Love. We see an Inca's pick here, which hasn't been so common after they nerfed or removed the Inca's blacksmith bonus from the two villagers from the feudal age. Moved it to apply from castle age onwards only. So the Inca's tower rush, villagers and towers rush used to be popular years ago. But that's not really the case anymore. But they have had their infantry buffed, and we have some infantry fanboys among us in the AOE Norway Discord, so that could be one of them, perhaps. Another GLHFer, which means one of them has to be Papaypit. He always writes GLHF. Some people do that. Quite a few people do that in the Norwegian Discord. Anyway, Incas. Unless your name is Akkal, you're probably going to open men-at-arms into archers or straight archers or some shenanigans like that and play eagles and crossbows in the castle age. But it is possible to play feudal age Incas as well with the eagles. Love, on the other hand, with Vikings. We've seen some impressive infantry plays from Love, who is pushing in the deer. This is the HC 4 Arabia, so the deer are still quite close to the TC. HJ calls Rody and Vivi, and who is who then? It's Vale Rody. And here it still says hell, we need to fix that. That's just a hang up from the previous thingy. No, Faye. Love is Vevi or Nope. Ooh, you have good confidence in Nope. Maybe Nope has been practicing really hard just for the Hidden Cup to whoop everyone's ass. But I think that Nope is a different player. We'll see at the reveal. HJ is on to something good there, I think. Vale Brody. I don't know Brody's playstyle nearly enough, but you might be onto something for sure. Good matchup. Good players, obviously, making it to the final. Vikings extra hit points on the military starting in the feudal age. Infantry, I mean, not military in general, but infantry. While Incas have cheaper eagles at least, cheaper infantry, or is it, yeah, they have some discounts in the military department. Let's see how they decide to open. Good thing! If the Vikings player decides to go for an infantry player or even try for some longsword shenanigans in the castle age, then Incas have the perfect response in the slingers from the archery range, their unique unit from the archery range with massive bonus damage against infantry. So Lauve would be wise not to try and pull off some heavy infantry play here, because the Incas they also have fully upgraded champions. And even the Kamboyuk could make an entry there, but they have the slingers to fill that need. Countermeasures against scary. Against infantry play. Why only 3 on wood though? That is confusing to me. This could be a 21 population man-at-arms build, or even 20 perhaps, with the Incas bonuses applying to them. Scouting, not. They're both being quite greedy here. I mean, pushing here has more or less become meta lately. Or not lately, the last few years. With the quality of life changes of the smart move there to make sure the board chases closer to the TC. It is going to be 20. Is that a 20 pop up though? I mean, it's only been 3 on wood, so technically there could be enough food here to click straight to the feudal age, perhaps. Yeah, okay. Tight build order for Vale here, but I assume this has to be the straight archers then. Here comes the barracks. And that's starting way too late to justify any kind of infantry play here. So, oh, he sends it back, that's nice. Only one number camp for Vale to start, but if it's going to be straight range, one range blacksmith, then that should be alright, but only one with that here. Going to get those first few archers out nice and early. Not enough wood for even a mining camp yet though, so how are we going to be able to afford that range once we enter the next stage here? While on the other side we have Laove already commencing the wall off. Vale spotting that kind of... No loom though, the eagle could easily pick off this one. Go chase that waller! What's wrong with you? No loom, no loom. It's on the way, but no loom for now. Loom gives the villager a boost to the hit points and armor. So before loom they only have 25 hit points, which means that the eagle with its total of 4 attack, is it? Would be able to take down the villager in like, yeah, few hits. Vale doesn't risk it though, even with a soul villager out like that. Ooh, we have a 2 militia opening here. Someone has been watching the French meta develop for a the 2 militia rush, the so-called French rush. Could be a villager kill here, but I think they're going to get close enough to the TC for the military to need to evacuate there. One more hit, but the militia choose not to chase. That is some builders taking off wood though. Taken off wood though. So Laove is struggling a bit here. You can see he's getting stressed out a bit by the rush opening here. So it's already getting value. However, with the first 2 archers, it should be an easy job to clean up these this aggression from Laove. There's quick walls. Other side, we have some infantry moving out from Vale as well. So it is the infantry opening after all. And with a little bit further scouting, I suppose you could make an argument for entering through the back here, but that's also an easy, quick wall for blue to keep the armies out here. Village in for Laove as well. Clinical entry into the next stage. There are only 7 seconds of idle TC time. Also committing to some straggler trees, and looks like we're going to fall off this last bit. Actually missing a couple of sheep, but not a big deal at this point. Archer needs to work at home, needs to be wary of the scout as well, as the scout, until fletching at least, starting scout could easily take out the archers without fletching, because they deal much less damage and have less range than if using spearman mixed in as well. Good addition there, just to act as a distraction in front of other units and soak some yeah, take some attention. Does go for the man-at-arms upgrade after all, and it's going to be 5 man-at-arms now for Laove. I think it's intending to keep those last few at home to clean up the militia of Vale. HA says 4-1 Laove, not a bad bet at all. Vale taking the elevation advantage here. I can't even see which... Yeah, it's the yellow units being chased by the wolves. And it doesn't even chase the... Oh, now it chases the man-at-arms. Okay, fine. So they're going to go down to the mighty Gaia, but so did the yellow militia. And the 2 starting militia from the rush for Laove still around here. They have the Vikings bonus as well, so a little bit more hit points. I'd argue they've gotten value even without eco kills. That's value for Laove. Shotgun with the Bob Ross emote. Nice. One villager, that I think that's gonna go down for a bit. Oh, the quick walls though! But won't it's elevation advantage for the Vikings men-at-arms here. They're gonna break through, aren't they? Uh-oh. Okay, rewalling. This is where the excitement happens. So I didn't see the armies moving out. Just pulling the archers back to clean up just a few militia here, or men at arms as they are. Gets the cleanup. Military count in favor of Vale now. This Arabia matchup for the Incas. Walling happening as well. Good wall towards the edge here. Still, this guy is kind of guarding that, but at home base, Lauve has had all the time in the world to wall off and extend the economy, and we're getting closer to that Castle Age click for the both of them. However, Lauve having that Vikings instant wheelbarrow gets ahead with an equal advantage. Hello, Jade. Thank you for that. Thanks for stopping by for the Hidden Cup Norway final. Some interesting walling from Vale here, but moving forward with a solid bunch of archers. 14 military count total, mixing the spear and a couple of skirmishers as well, while Lauve is going Castle Age. Has a couple of skirmishers, not nearly enough to keep this pressure away, of course, and Vale, all things considered, isn't going to be much more than 50 seconds, 1 minute behind to the Castle Age kick, I don't think. It's about, missing 300 wood. Archer still being queued. You could unqueue that archer once you have the food to take to the Castle Age, just to make sure you get out. Definitely an army that could be able to break through here and at the very least force some quick walls from Lauve at home base. Usually what players do is place a stone gate foundation or a palisade gate foundation on this tile so that the archers will have to punch through a wider structure, or you place a market or blacksmith or whatever to pick and take up enough tiles for the archers to not be able to deny your walling behind. Second barracks going up, so either Lauve is expecting an eagle addition here in the Castle Age, or Lauve is just feeling confident enough to go for multiple barracks longswordsmen, as we've seen in other Arabia matches from this player, also playing the Vikings. We've definitely seen this before. I think it was in the semifinals, maybe even in the quarterfinals. We saw Lauve do this with success, but it's a hidden cup, so everything is played through recorded games, and you won't know about the strats until they have been casted, so you could get away with some stuff in that regard. Military being pulled back home for Vale makes perfect sense, as we have 15 archers or so. No, yeah, not quite as many. Or is it? I'm supposed to restore in ranges. Yeah, waiting to become crossbows. 45 seconds away now. Gonna get crossbow Bodkin for those armies. That should be decent to keep a double or triple barracks. Yeah, there's the third one. Triple barracks production away. But I mean, if you get enough of these Vikings longswords out, and Vikings get Gambesson as well, don't they? We'll see. That if so, that boosts their pierce armor a little bit more as well. So archers not as efficient Castle Age is in here. The crossbow numbers of the Vikings player isn't quite matching the one of the Incas. Instant second town center for Vale as well. I think it makes sense to secure the main goal like that, but some archers are going to suffer against the limited number of crossbows of Lauvey here, and Vale can't really know about the switch other than knowing about the strategies that Lauvey has pulled off earlier in the stages. Crossbow Bodkin is in, and now chasing the little group of crossbows here, while the... oh, it's only 4 longswords for now. Actually, is Lauvey's food economy a bit off for this? Or is this just all mind games and fun over here? Just going to make Vale think he's going for the longsword push, and then that's not happening. There we go. House wall not completing. Crossbow's gonna head for the very exposed woodland. Look at these woodlands. All of the woodlands here are so exposed to range fire because of the way it's been walled here. This could have been actually secured by walling on either side. But I guess the crossbows are going to be sufficient to clean up this group of army for Lauvey, but it's all just a distraction. Here comes Gambeson for Vikings, and double barracks production now as well behind this, so the longswords numbers is going to increase. You're going to find yourself as the infantry player here to try and take out production buildings with these infantry units. I think to break in, just find the maximum surface area, and at the same time limit the option of reaction from the opposing player. And what Vale needs to do now, seeing these longswords, is to switch from just abandon the idea of crossbows and try to get slingers produced somehow. But that's easier said than done. The slingers cost food and gold, and that's not exactly what Vale's economy is set up for now. Sometimes I make 60 Elite 4 elephants to debate my opponent into thinking I'm going Elite 4 elephants. Yeah, that's not enough to bait anyone into thinking you're going a unit combo, is it? You need at least twice as many Torcuni. Anyway, crossbow skirmisher mass going down, but longswords numbers increasing. 13 total now, as Vale tries for a siege workshop. Probably wants to get some mangonels and or scorpions out here to deal with this push, but we are seeing history repeat itself from Lauvey's side here. Lauvey has played this with success before, doesn't seem to worry too much about crossbow fire. The crossbow group maybe not as threatening as it could be either. This could be a short game, ending in the Castle Age here for the first one. Base never threatened at home for Lauvey either. Oh no! 4 of Vale's crossbows going down to the Mangonel Lauvey there. Good shot. Definitely had a good run in this tournament, Lauvey. For all we know, this could be the only 1900 rated player in the bracket, because Oximinator is also there, but we had to award 2 admin wins in the first round of 16 because of players not able to schedule and play on time. So it could be that Oximinator is one of those. Okay, there are enough crossbows here to one-shot the swordsman. Oh no! Another good hit from Vale. We need to focus one thing or the other here now. Splits against the Mangonel, but still takes some damage. Going to try and focus down that Mangonel with the crossbow group. Takes another hit, unfortunately, and the army numbers diminish rapidly for Vale. 1 range going down here as well, which limits the potential of going into slingers here. Doesn't look like Vale has thought of that as an option here, because there's only 11 on food, and slingers, they cost 50 food or something like that. So they're costly in the food department, like the... But that would certainly have been an option here. You'd need something to deal with the Mangonel as well, but then you maybe do just add a couple of Eagle Scouts to deal with the siege, and you rely on your slingers to take out the infantry. Third town center for Lauvey at home as well. Crossbows being chased by long swords. Not something you see every day, but they're going to take some damage here and bail down to 13 military now for the first time in a while behind in military numbers compared to Lauvey here. And if you look at the economic situation, it's 13 villages lead for Lauvey, and then got that Vikings instant hand card to boot as well, which puts Vale further behind. Another good mangonel hit, getting full value here. Town center down here, secured by securing the woodlands, so that's good. Looks like Vale wants to get a defensive castle up as well, but that's easier said than done with armies streaming in like this from Lauvey's side. There it is, longswords paying off for Lauvey yet again. Infantry fanboy, people speculating it might be Vevi, they might be correct. But we'll go into the next map, which will be Vale's home map of choice after a look at the score overview here. So we're almost certainly going to a hybrid map, except bypass, which is not one. Vale played, indeed. As you can see. Nice pun. GG Vale played. Convincing KD there. Might have debated Vale into thinking that this was a pure crossbow play by the Vikings, but it was not. It was a switch into the swordsman line. Impressive uptime for Vale, but got hard countered by the Vikings Thrush as well. Castle Age timings further apart than I thought. This would have been Yggdrasil finals if it wasn't for admin win. Yeah, you never know, do you? This game is full of surprises. Arsak once again revealing himself as Yggdrasil. So that's one guess everyone could get. Alright, so that would be the first pick, the Vikings. Working well for Vale here. Inca's going down as the contender. We'll see what the next map is going to be. Game 2. Celts versus Khmer on bypass. So we're moving on to a closed map this time around. Rody wrote in his description of own playing style that he likes hand cannoneers. Celts don't get those, so he can't be Vale, I guess. Don't remember if Khmer do, I think they do. Anyway, this is bypass. More often than not, you'll see the players wall off the other player's side here, and maybe even try to snipe the hunt, and shoot the hunt and lame it from a distance. You can't build on this terrain, so it's not as easy as it looks to drop a castle right in the opponent's face or even towers. But I think you could make an argument for men-at-arms towers on this map and just hit this area with men-at-arms. But it might not be viable since it's easy to spot and easy to wall behind. Looks like Lauvey is going to move over and see if there's any potential of laming on the other side here. Playing it dirty to win 30. Might need a Mongol scout to reveal that rhino though. Yeah, it's just content with scouting the walls. This is scary though. Whether if Vale moves over, he's going to see the rhino dangerously close to the wall and just try to take advantage of that and shoot it from a distance. So Kelts, I've said it, Men-at-Arms Towers comes to mind. You don't want to move all the way around, I think that's just too far to go. But if neither player is planning to wall here, you could definitely try to break through with an infantry and archers or infantry towers opening here. Men-at-Arms archers comes to mind as well, but you need to get through the wall. And that's the thing about these closed maps. Yeah, Vale. No, Lava goes for the houses approach over here, so sometimes you see palisades, but in this case it's gonna be houses. Just to deny Vale easy access to the other side. Was that a bugged sheep? Huh. Sure, that was supposed to be 2 sheep. Ray! Don't think Vale has been over there to steal anything either. No. So, slight food advantage for the potential underdog here, Vale. Getting housed in the face. It's a lot of wood going into houses here, but it's Celts. The lumberjacks work faster anyway. And by walling off like this, it's kind of a giveaway that Lauve might be thinking of a fast cast stage approach here, dropping the mill, so it's not going to be anything super fast aggressive here. Maybe not for Vale either, also having dropped the mill here and the lumber camp. Well, that house isn't going to be great for farming later on here. What do they do here? They don't need any buildings to go up, they don't need any buildings to unlock other buildings to, for example, make a stable or archery range in the feudal age. You can just make it right off the bat. You don't need a barracks as all other civilizations need in advance. Ooh, even an outpost here for Lauve, so taking 5 away from the potential 5 stone away from the potential instant 2 town centers in the castle age here. But in exchange for some important vision, so once you get town watch in for this, you actually get quite a few more tiles of vision, so you know if anything is coming your way from this direction. Two on gold for Vale could be a fast castle approach. Food situation allowing for the click up quite soon. Looks like it's going to be 23 pop at least. Could be more. Also walling off behind at home just to be on the extra safe side here. Love him moving out to the sides to collect some hunt over here. Did not push in anything from this angle, or did he? No, he just deleted the wall to smoothen out the villager's journey over here. The click has been made from Vale. And what's that 24 population feudal age gonna bring for the convert here? 3 on gold. 2 farms. Just a few on berries, but eating the goats as well. Could be a straight fast castle here, but I think we might be looking at some idle time before that castle age kick happens. With it this kind of low. It's not that low, it's 24 population, maybe it's doable. I just feel like we're missing something here, but the hunt looks like it's been pushed in as well. Mer farms don't need any drop off points, they just bring in food continuously. Now what? Okay. 1 or 2 villagers to create, and I might even click almost directly here. 3 gold could be a Monk Rush build order as well. Could probably do a decent Monk Rush, but you won't be able to place a monastery here. There's just not enough tiles to place them. So you need to break through the walls first, and then go it from there. To the cast stage with 7 seconds of idle this time, Laove with 6 seconds. So we're quite matched in the progress to the next range. Never seen these civs on this map before. Really? What civs were seen on Bypass then? Was it Malay and Turks and stuff like that? Advantage Vale here with the earlier Feudal Age. Takes some decent damage off Laove. But now with the both in Feudal Age, Laove is able to keep the pace. Yeah, Bohemians of course, makes sense. There's Quarry as well though, where you will want some of those. Although Quarry is decent for Mongols, so Mongols would be decent here as well with all this extra hunt. This is about the most interesting thing happening on the map right now. There's a scout chasing scout. Revealing the hunt that's been taken to the outside here. Laove also going up at 28 population here, so it's a significantly stronger economy heading into the next age for Laove. Neither of them are mining any stone as of now, and Laove actually queues a spearman as well and wants to poke away at this scout. Try to limit Vale's vision a little bit. Uh-oh. Right into the boom here. Boom and relics. Is this the way to play against a presumed much stronger player than yourself? To boom and go relics? Yeah, Vale's first home map is a clone map, so it has to be Arsak, right? He's preparing for the Binders interview as we speak, so we'll have to pretend we don't know his Yggdrasil. I mean, it is a means to gain an advantage with that significantly faster cast stage here. Could be able to catch up in builders as well, depending on how Laove chooses to play this. Will only be able to afford 1 additional town center immediately, which might go on the wood line. No. Siege workshop in the middle. So this is a Celt Huang style push then, potentially. Huh. Stable, siege workshop. No Celt longswords, disappointingly enough. Yeah, then this was the 19 Nations Hidden Cup. He almost got Deno there. That was a fantastic hideout game. But Deno versus Dennis, or whatever their nicknames were. Rip Scout. There's a sword decaying away. Okay, Mangonel is out. We're gonna wait for 2 before we engage. Are we gonna see a monastery added here as well, true Huang style? Where's the monastery? I mean, if you don't, one spearman isn't going to keep Khmer knights away. Instant reaction here by Vale, both stable and a siege workshop. Okay. Second, Mangonel is out. Celt's siege weapons fire faster as well, so even if the opponent makes defensive siege weapons, you are at a disadvantage in terms of the firing rate. Couple of knights just roaming about for lava here, score dead even, but Vale's 2 town centers approach about to be punished. Mangonel will pop out before lava-based Mangonels can take out the siege workshop. But the knights are being kept close. Ooh, 1 for 0 there for Vale. It should be a conversion for lava as well. No, doesn't get it actually. Doesn't get it. So this is not Papaya Pit confirmed. He has more luck with conversions. It's a huge ass elephant, by the way. In the door there, in the stables. Looks like he's stuck. Can't get out, he's too fat. I will say the Celts' Knight Siege push hasn't been doing all that much yet. Vale scrambling to repair there. Nice, another Mangonel pops out and takes out Lavi's second Mangonel. Goes down to Celts' Knight's fire. But Vale manages to keep the knights from doing more damage at this for the moment. Both are the monks now. The monastery for the Celts is on point as well. Khmer definitely have better monks. They have more upgrades applying to the monks in general. Don't think Celts even get redemption, so they can't convert buildings, though I think Khmer do. Nice, keeping the monks close to the town center so that if they're at risk of being taken out by scouts or light cab, you can just hop inside the town center and seek refuge and even heal up a little bit. Step elephant. That's the one. He's the one that's stuck in the stable. Lauve is not able to spend his rest. I mean, guess not. Buying stone for the additional TC. That's 5 stone. Why not just mine it? Okay, we have long-term plans of dropping a castle here to the front or to the sides. Moving out the wall with stone walls to the side as well. I like that. Denying entry from this side. This is GG, yeah, but for who? Khmer economy well ahead here. But the Celts have a very decent boom as well. Khmer should have an easier time getting to the Imperial Age as well. Earlier today, economic upgrades and additional town centers. Night Siege did barely anything for the Celts here. Though with stone walls on either side, that should be buying Lauve's on time to get that Celts boom rolling as well and maybe come up with some kind of late game death ball. But I like agree with Andy here, it's looking good for Vale. Wouldn't want to call it GG yet, but it's working into Vale's favor. 30 villagers lead almost now, and also now able to spend resources and make more military. panic booming, yeah. Celts panic boom better than most panic booms though. They have that wood situation working for them. Late game they have a deadly infantry siege push, but will that stop the Khmer? The Khmer could also go for some pretty crazy siege options like the heavy scorpions with double crossbow, so you fire 2 projectiles. Could even break through with body elephants to the sides in the castle age and go for some sneak raids, surprise raids in lava space. Right, it's now pounding away at the palisade. They're gonna get through actually. Lava won't be able to quick ball this in time. There are some Celts knights here, but they are surely... They are not! They have better upgrades. There's no bloodlines yet for Vale, no attack, no defense upgrades. It's equal numbers, and the only thing making a difference here is the slightly lower hit points of Lava, but that quickly changes with 1 or 2 monk conversions here. Khmer boom looking strong farms, not even looking like Khmer farms, but they're still efficient at that point. Wheelbarrow coming in just now, you don't really need to stress that as much with Khmer as with many other civilizations. Forging coming in, where's Bloodlines though? I think it's gonna be clicked soon enough here. Kinda crucial to have Bloodlines for the cavalry if you have access to it. More stables being added. And yeah, food goal situation still indicating an extended castle age, but convincing military and economic lead for Vale now. Mistake to go for eco upgrades. Claiming the left hand side here for Vale, TC and the castle. That sort of serves the same purpose as the walls over here as well, except Lauve will be able to get through, but also doesn't succeed in... might succeed in full walling this side. Even moves the villager over to... Smart. Lauve spotted that before Vale. Lot of villagers moving over to the side. Lots of free food here as well, so... well, I guess the Khmer farm count is already where it should be. Imperial H cake just right around the corner now. 50 more gold and we're there. Or, yeah, 70. So there's the Imperial H for Vale. Lauve not anywhere near that click just yet. Could sell lots of wood to compensate. Also trying for a castle at home base here. Market rate's still pretty good for selling wood, so that's Lauve's ticket to Imperial Age there if you want to rush it a bit to keep up with Vale. It could also be that Lauve has no idea that Vale actually clicked up at this point. Oh, thesis and university could be denied here if Vale at some point sees it, splits up, but the quick balls from Lauve as well, just not in time there. The TC will complete unless this knight gets there just in time, but it's not chasing the blue ones here. Also, Vale doesn't have any defense at all, so Towns of the Fire is dangerous against it. What's that? How is that? Okay, they deleted the right one, that's how. Wondering how that could not be a conversion on the 3 others, but they deleted the one that Monk was charging his Monk juice on, so that seems to be resetting the Monk conversion timer. GG when Vale reaches it, but that's a reasonable estimation. I mean, there's barely any military for Lauve here, going for Wold Raiders for whatever reason. These are Khmer Knights, admittedly with almost no upgrades. They've got Bloodlines, they've got Forging, that's it. But we have a an addition here of some ranges. Could be that Vale wants to make a switch into, or add some units here, some anti-cavalry units, and or rather add some anti-pikeman units for the range. Could be archers, crossbows, could be hand cannoneers once chemistry is in. 4 stables producing the knights, cavalier, and chain parting armor on the way. All things considered, not that much damage done to Lauve's economy, but there's some 30 villagers difference between the two, so still good job by Vale to extend that economic lead and keep it. Looks like we have another forward castle coming up here. Vale sort of bails on that one, goes for a little bit closer one here. Chemistry on the way in. Let's see if we're seeing any hand cannoneers or bombard cannons being added here, if we even get those. We need some siege weapons here. You don't need it to punch through palisade gates, of course. Several barracks here for Lave. Lave wants to go into the Celts pikemen by the looks of it, because they move faster. And some of the infantry upgrades are already in as well. Cavalier mass though, 27 cavaliers from Vale and Lave. Not even close to the pikemen. And yeah, it's not even going to be halberdiers for a while yet. It's 2.5 minutes to imp. So these are all the pikemen against Imperialist Cavalier. That should be an easy fight for the cavaliers. Good raiding potential here, no matter how bad the pathing might be. 101 villagers to 146, so we're to the point of overboom now. But cleaning up the pikemen here, diminishing the mass. Okay, the pikes are doing decent for the Celts here actually, but still left with 22 cavaliers out on the field. Full damage upgrades in as well. No, full defense upgrades in, was what I meant to say. First trebuchet now popping out 2 castles to produce them from if need be. So this defensive castle could go down, but the GG is called. Well earned win for Vale for this one. And we'll be going into Lauve's home map next, I think. So they alternate picking, but it's Lauve's turn, so Lauve, I suppose Lauve could pick Vale's home maps, but why would you when you have plans for drafted civs for your own ones as well? So that's the civilizations. Let's have a look at the statistics as well. Only players making it to the Imperial Age here, 32-33 for Vale. Pretty convincing. 73-20 KD. Says something about the fights taken along the way. And more convincing army high as well. Current army for Lauve, only 5. Cast Age Siege Push not really doing anything for the blue player here. Right, game 3 will be either Hideout, Gold Rush, or Quarry, which are all... Yeah, I guess Gold Rush, we could keep that outside, but Hideout and Quarry quite similar to the one we just saw here. Plays out differently, but not that differently. So let's see what is the first pick of Lauve. It's indeed Hideout. And we have Malay versus Burgundians for this one. This is an interesting matchup because both civilizations here would honestly benefit from a fast feudal age into just eco upgrades here, and then maybe a more for the castle age approach to the hideout game here. I suppose once they've started scouting each other and see that they're this close, they might consider just trying to get the wall of in the middle here so that the players are forced to move all the way around. But could also be that we'll see some super fast up from the Malay here to pressure with some infantry archers near the gate of Vale, or depends on how well the players read each other as well. Burgundians, is that going to be straight to the castle age and a boom, or do they actually have something going for them in feudal age here? Scouts not really an option for hideout, while unique unit of the Burgundians sees play regularly in maps like hideout and Lombardy and stuff like that. Roadie, says Andy. He's convinced now. Why is he convinced? Because of the Burgundians pick? Or because of the maps picks? We'll go so far as to say exclusively closed maps, but that's Lauve's picks, not Vale's picks. Vale seems to be a hybrid map enjoyer.
Bonjour.
I've just cranked this up a little notch as it's a slow start to the game between these two civilizations. Burgundians with extra damage for gunpowder civilizations comes to mind in the Imperial Age here, but Malay aging up 66% faster, which should always be ahead of their opponents to the next age. Because of that. So, looks to me like we're going fast feudal age into eco upgrades here for Malay, perhaps. It's 20 population up. Could also be straight archers, but I don't see any investment into gold here for Lauve. So it's just going to be double bit axe and the horse collar probably as soon as it's affordable. Burgundians should already have horse collar double bit axe here, even though they are in the Dark Age, because they get them at a discount and they get to research them 1 age before the other civilizations. So it's kind of a fast feudal into nothing for Vale. For Lauve, I mean, Vale isn't going feudal age at all here. Vale is clearly attempting to get a castle up and to go somewhat straight towards the castle age here. 0 idle TC time so far as well. Left hand side, some gold investment for Lauve here. Will not be able to pull off any fast castle shenanigans here, but Malay, as mentioned, they go up faster to the next stage. So they are always scary on any map because of that, with the quick power spike it can give their crossbow line units. Or the, yeah, archers into crossbows into arbalest. Most importantly, don't think you're going to see the same kind of power spike with the elephants, but it's an option that Malay have, as their battle elephants are cheaper as well. Any guesses who these guys might be or what level? Our sign-ups range from 1200 to 1900 elo, and we are pretty confident that Lauve has to be one of the top players, but Vale, not too shabby either. We have some good guesses as to Vale could be Rodi, and Lauve could be Vevi. But we will reveal that after the winner of the final has been decided, after we casted all the games, so we'll see. But this time around though, Lauve mismanaging the food economy a little bit. 24 seconds of idle this time now. That is effectively 1 builder advantage lost for the Malay, though still somewhat ahead of Vale. because of the faster up. Our success, my guess, would be like 12xx. But because they didn't make enough monks last game. Or just because you're bad at guessing. Looks like we're getting a Burgundian's castle drop here. 6 on gold now. Castle age click not quite in yet, but it's also not far away. Needing 50 more food here. And the market to complete. Suppose we'll sell. Maybe we don't need to sell. Just force drop some food. There we go. Castle age for Vale. Going up first here to the castle age, but Laove, as you can see, missing only 100 food. And with a 66% faster. Even though the click app will be slower later, Laove may still be able to keep up with that Burgundian's castle age approach. Heavy plow coming in, but no bowsaw for the lumberjacks of Vale. Two gold for the both of them, but more significant stone investment from Vale. Nothing on stone for Laove for now. So Laove is confident enough to be able to keep any kind of castle drop away through other means. Making the scouts probably wants to contest the middle map with the relics in mind. Not to mention that if you have 2 or 3 scouts, you could scout and stop a forward castle drop from your opponent as well. I don't see why the Burgundians would drop a forward castle here though, since their unique unit, the Costilier, is so... has got so much mobility anyway. See the uptimes actually ahead for the Malay here, even with more idleness time and clicking up later. Crazy civilization for these close maps. 3 scouts and counting for Laove. Just trying to get the feel for where those relics might be. Actually scouted all 5 of them. Town center immediately, that goes for both of them, but 2 town centers for Vale. Seems to enjoy booming this player. Oh, that's the third one for the Malay as well. So you see a villager advantage for Laove, mainly because of the faster up times both to the feudal edge and the castle ages here. They're going to be tied on town centers though, so whoever is able to keep the town centers producing more consistently is going to take a villager advantage here. Scouts out for Laove as Vale hasn't really invested in any. Tries to go in blind with the monks. That could hurt a lot with the scouts' presence on the map for Laove. Why did they both pick cloud home maps? Because at least one of them doesn't enjoy hybrid maps. That town center took forever to complete, didn't it? Vale, slight villager advantage, idleness time significantly lower here. Maybe a little bit thanks to the Burgundians' economy as well. Look at the farming count, these all have heavy plow, so they are carrying a lot more food than Lauve's with only horse color. Guarding the closest relic. I like Lauve's approach here, so it keeps the scouts close to the relics closest to Vale's base and will then proceed to collect the other ones that are relatively open and safe to just long distance collect. About to get the first relic in. Defensive castle for Vale, that's a good placement. Some easy wall-offs here should any aggression try to enter through here, but with the castle going up, that's not going to be a good point of entry for anyone anyway. It's both in full boom mode or what's going on. 3 builders queued for the both of them from TCs. Consistent builder production. Laove in need of replacing a lumber camp here maybe, but doesn't seem to suffer too much. Yeah, worker efficiency not horrible. Yet, at least. What's the game plan here for Burgundians? They have late game strong gunpowder options, stronger than the Malay, I believe, because the Malay, while they do get Pommercans, Burgundians, Pommercans deal 25% more damage. Used to be like Laove is in control of the relics. It's going the long way. Where is this guy going? And why doesn't he at least have the speed upgrades? Oi, oi, oi. Is he gonna go for this one? That's a really long way around if that's the plan here. Some builders moving out. I think they want to place a TC over here perhaps, or maybe just a mining camp. Well, don't get further. Well, that explains it then. But it wouldn't surprise me if he just forgot it, if they plan to. Okay, it's gonna go for this one, so that's fine. Suppose that one was collected by Vale, no problem. This could still mean 4 relics for Laove though, unless Vale has been able to snag more somehow. Beer count. Not at all. I had 1 beer 6 hours ago. That's all I had. Don't use commands that aren't mentioned in the stream title. It's just lame. It's really taking the safe route around here so as to not be intercepted by any Costilier or other cavalry by Vale here. A long turn. Vane's looking for it. Stream sniping? What's going on there? How? He gets it. Oh man. Costilier MVP over here. These guys didn't want to protect that one monk. They're gonna protect this guy instead. Barracks for Vale. Are we going to strengthen the Costilier push with the Cavalier and Paladin here? Imperial Age on the way for Vale, by the way. While Laove is still comfortably in the Castle Age here, nowhere near that click up, but whenever Laove does, still going to be able to get to the Imperial Age relatively quickly with the 66% faster bonus. They're both dropping barracks. No, they're not. It's ranges for Vale. So that first barracks foundation was a misclick by the looks of it. Another monk going down to the Costilier as well. Great value. Though the relic is getting closer and closer to home base. Khmer farms. Yeah, Khmer farms with Malay. That looks like a mill though. That looks like a mill. So maybe that's confusing. Maybe Laove thinks that's a mill. Okay, so not the most efficient farming economy ever. 50% working efficiency along the edge over here. Maybe Arsak is right. Maybe these are 1200 players and they're fooling all of us. Rangers, that's gonna be for the hand cannon stun. So Vale, hand cannoneers, enjoyer. According to, well, looks like it. And Rhodey, again, wrote in his self-description that he likes hand cannoneers. But that could easily be impersonated by anyone, just by making lots of hand cannoneers. Casting your own finals. Of course I am. I'm a master at hiding my own playstyle in these kinds of events. I'm fooling everyone. See? It's more than 5 minutes idle each time as well. This is me. It's going really fast. That's from 4 TCs, so it's fine. 110 villagers. Probably don't need any more at this stage. Alright, so if the Burgundians goes hand cannoneers, that means that the Malay should be going Arbalest, perhaps? Stonewalling topside, I like that. That's going to keep any aggression from entering easily from that side. At least you need a lot of food in the bank for Lave. Maybe there's no market here. Do we have a market for Lave? I don't think we do. Okay, it does actually. So now it sells food. I think it scrambled up that market not long ago. Good defensive castle, sort of makes aggression awkward from this angle. We have the siege workshop though, so we'll be seeing some bomber cannons from Vale perhaps. 200 vill challenge for blue, maybe. Maybe it's forgotten it's not Burgundians. Blue plays it like Burgundians and Flemish Revolution here, but in fact that's Vale. Vale's play. Hand cannoneers and Flemish Revolution, perhaps. And it's only 114 builds Arsak, so it's fine. We're still farming around houses though, as if we were Khmer. And walling ambitiously to the side. This should be denied if the light can move over here. Relic number 3 being brought in, they have 2 relics each. Cavalier, but will they become Paladin soon? We are in the Imperial Age. And the hand cannoneers are out. Some extra damage here for the Burgundians, I believe. Unless I'm mixing civilization bonuses up. First target's gonna be the production buildings. In fact, does he see the castle? Yeah, obviously see the castle. It's been close enough to see that. Imperial Age in for the Malay as well. Going to upgrade the pikes into halberdiers here, so that should keep the Burgundians cavalry in check. Stormwater. Okay, you will this bit, I will this bit. It's as if they weren't talking together. So they're going to sandwich each other in on either side if they get to complete the walls to both of them here. 3 bomber cannons now, hand cannoneers doing some work as well. It's only 1 tile of stone wall, Arsak. That's even villagers could kill that. That's no problem. Oh, don't tell me the Mangonels are gonna... Mangonel kills bomber cannon! I don't think I've ever seen that before. Mangonel taking out 2 bomber cannons. Value! I mean, if it had been an on-the-go, okay, maybe. That's 1 Mangonel taking out 2 bomber cannons. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Okay, guess we're not going to complete the blue walls over here. Vale has spotted it in time while completing their own walls. Can we give both admin loss for this game? Why? Because it's Vale playing, and because Yggdrasil had to accept an admin loss for not reading the rules properly. I think so. Skirmishers against the hand cannoneers here. The cavalry trying to snipe them, but the hand cannoneers will need to take out the halberdiers as well. And now the cavalry is running into the halberdiers. Never a great sight. Looks like the hand cannoneers are doing decent against the current number of skirmishers as well, although that's going to change quickly. Bombard cannons might get some nice hits in. That's a good castle from Vale as well. This is a pretty impressive potential death ball, to be honest. How many bombard cannons now? We have 7 of them. We have Cavalier in front, and halberdier numbers not really able to reach critical mass. Another castle going down. Is this going to be a 2-1 for Vale? It is. Our yellow player Vale showing some power here against Love, who's barely lost a single game in the tournament so far. Maybe not even lost a single game. So let's, first things first, let's knock out the Malay here. Last pick though, so saving some better picks for later against Vale. Now, according to the rules, the third game is going to be, well, they're alternating picks. So I don't think Love gets to pick again. I think Vale gets to pick now, actually. Sick play by Rody, says Arsak. Yeah, we are given more and more reasons to assume this is Rody, aren't we? I think I still have Papaya Pit for Vale in my guesses, so I may need to rethink that. Look at the army going down like that, though. Reaction to the Burgundian Death Ball just happening too late there. Eco is comparable. Significantly more villagers for Vale, though, at parts of the game. They all say Rody. They're all listening to Hoyes guessings. Even got the Burgundian vineyards for some extra resource trickle there. Barely any villagers lost this game, just about the structures and production capabilities. Okay, I think we would now be going to... Yeah, Rody is suspiciously silent, isn't he? If he's here. I think we should be going to one of Vale's maps again now, because they're alternating maps, but we'll see. Players don't read the rules or handbooks, we all know that, so especially Arsak. Sorry, Yggdrasil, I mean, not Arsak, we don't know that. We are going to game 4, aren't we? Yeah. Which will be on Bay, which is indeed Vale's home map. Oh, he heard us. He heard us. Okay, I'm gonna get something to drink because my throat is getting sore from being on a dry mouth. So I'll be right back. Have a look at Bay in the meantime. Rody doesn't believe us, huh? I think it's him. That's cute, Andy. Talking nice about Vale, by our guesses, being Roddy. Alright, this is Bay. Yeah, there's been 2 little men at arms this set. We did get it on a Ray Yellow, so I'm happy. Dravidians for Bay here. They didn't exist at the time of Hidden Cup 4, so that's a civilization I haven't seen played on this map, but we know they are good for hybrid maps because of their wood bonuses entering the next stage. 200 wood instantly once you reach the next stage allows you to drop an instant additional dock immediately, or a ford, a blacksmith, and a quick fletching for your galleys if you so desire. However, Laoway with the Japanese here will have fishing ships with faster work rate and twice as many hit points and extra armor. So they are hard to take out the fish of, and they save some resources from their resource drop-off points as well. 50 wood instead of 100 for lumber camps, mining camps, mills, etc. So they have an easier time to afford the docks and the fishing ships and the other things that cost wood as well. So it makes it easier for both civilizations here to focus on both land and water because of their wood savings and bonuses applying to that. Right, more being brought in. Careful with DC trick here, I think we're fine. Yeah, doesn't get eaten by town center fire. Scouts fighting in the middle, but that means that the docking villagers will be left alone here as Laoway is commencing a little bit of walling in towards the woodland here. You can't build on this shallow terrain, which means you can't really wall off all the way to the out to the water. So you'll have to wall to the edge of the map like so, or between the woodlines like that, like Vale could do here, to the edge here, and like that. First few scouts hit for Laoway as well, so advantage. Laoway there is looking for the docking villager, not gonna find it because that's been sent back to whatever, to the food underneath the town center perhaps. Laoway 8 seconds idle TC, Vale 0. So good start for the Dravidians player here in that regard. Also have 2-1 and playing what has to be Vale's home map here as the alternate home map, which means the next game will bring Laoway's home map again, regardless of the outcome of this one, I think. Fishing ship count seems even. Laoway's only difference here is the slightly higher idle TC time. Now clicking the fuel edge after some force dropping. But going to be faster than Vale up to the next stage, which is always an advantage on naval maps. The timing is so important entering the fuel age when you want to go into naval fighting. It's almost more important than the power spike you get from early fletching for the archers or crossbows in the early cast stage. To be able to be the first one to produce the naval military allows you to attack the fish earlier and obstruct the opponent's economy before they can properly defend themselves. Second dog for the both of them, but Vale, if Vale goes for the galleys here, It's probably going to be the galleys. It's going to be an early blacksmith. Blacksmiths could go up here, for example, to act as a partial wall as well, or here, or here. Could be a third dock as well, which would make sense against the Japanese more tanky fishing ships. Or just a barracks on the range for an early land investment as well. Yeah, that could be something. Only 3 on gold. It's not really going to sustain you in the long run for the double dock production here, but having collected gold for a while, you're able to produce at least for a little while here. Everyone going for fire galleys here. Timing is very similar. They're both gonna have 2 fire galleys out at mostly the same time. Looks like a good engagement for the Japanese civilization here. Oh, fishing ship going in front, blocking a little bit of that fire. Are we going to see some demos here from either player? Looks like Vale is a bit short of gold here. Vale hasn't generally been picking hybrid maps, so that might be one of Vale's... sorry, Laove hasn't been picking any hybrid maps typically, so that might be one of Lauve's weak spots, but right now it looks pretty decent. A third dock though. Third dock for baits, not like there's that much fish. This might be working into Vale's advantage, because water isn't that significant, and the more you invest in water, the more you delay your land aggression, whereas Vale now has the barracks up and probably will be dropping an archery range in not too long as well. Demo. Let's see the demo. It's going to be a 1 hit, but it's still going to allow the fire galleys to take out at least 1 here. That third dock could be just to be able to mass enough numbers to contest Vale here as well. Fire galleys out of both docks, but it's 2 docks against 3 now, and Vale actually doesn't see that. AD dead even, so Vale hasn't taken critical losses just yet, but will have to garrison inside of his own docks now, probably, to be able to keep up with the Japanese aggression here. 3 docks still producing. Looks like we're going to see a third dock go up here, unless that's going to be forward range. That could be a forward range. This guy isn't scared of any demo explosions or anything. At this point, I think Vale needs to cut his losses. And where are you going? Okay, Laove sees this, hopefully, in the minimap. Doesn't have any demos. Where? What is this? Just taking a stroll. No, the enemy base. Nobody can see me. Nothing to see here. Quick wall. Quick wall. This is the only interesting happening right now. Interesting thing. Screw the naval fighting. We won't see this guy be walking into certain death. Yeah, there we go. To be fair, Laove has been investing a lot into the naval armies here. Yes, positive KD. Will be taking out the fish, but Vale, however, has the range up and is ready to produce some archers to deal some damage on land here. Water definitely won by the Japanese here. Only 1 archer so far and a couple of farms here. Vale needing to compensate for losing the water fight. The scouting situation. We don't really have any scout anymore. Falave has the spearman over here, so might be just in the position to see the archers moving out. If he gets lucky in that sense. But Castle Age is on the way. What's that Castle Age gonna give Vale though? There's some extra farms going up here. The 200 wood entering the Castle Age could allow for a second range as well, or even a forward siege workshop. But there's really few resources in the bank currently for Vale to have any kind of consistent production or anything to keep up here. Taking range before cast stage, that means that 200 wood could be going into a town center, for example here, or even out here, to secure that secondary gold. Not a whole lot of archers. This is not going to be able to afford Baldkid, but crossbow perhaps. I don't know where that spearman went of Lauve, but still, he's not around anymore. Also, has been reacting to the archers investment, or just having the same plan here. Got a range up now. Must have seen the archers because he's going into some skirmishers to add to the armies moving out here. Some peculiar walling going on here, but I think he just wants to expand the walls to this area. Some quick houses going up here as well. Lauvi getting some vision on these archers, seeing what's up here. 3 town centers for Vale. It's against 1 for Lauve, but also got some fish traps working here, so making use of some excess wood there. We'll not be able to stop these villagers from completing these houses, but that's going to be 1 villager kill at least. Houses walling in towards the TC here now. Military situation ahead for Laube, but remember that some of these are water, so actually they're, in terms of land, military. Vale is more or less tied with Laube. Ooh, great spot with the fire gallery there, or it might just be on aggressive stance, but still takes some hit points off these archers while moving out. Going to try and break through here, but with the way Laube is walling this, the archers won't really be able to do nearly enough here. As they descend, and Vale still insists upon standing here. Crossbow find out the way, but still no Bodkin, they only are fletching. Whereas Lauve is going for Bodkin first, which means that Lauve will actually have longer range than the armies entering the base here. You could take your chances with the crossbows here and move through and risk being hit by some TC fire and still gamble to get some villager kills, but I think Vale is doing the right thing moving out here, at least until Bodkin arrow can be afforded and researched as well. There's a pretty decent farming economy here, but Vale seems to be prioritizing villagers over the Bodkin upgrade, which makes sense. You need the economy for the long game. Elite skirmisher now in. Oh, look at Lauve. 5 elite skirmishers in the range. War in the back here as well. This would be the certain death of these crossbows because Vale doesn't have any response to the elite skirmishers. Does not have a stable. That's not usually something you have as the Dravidians because they barely even get light cav. Also no knights or stuff like that. I love how there's a demolition raft on standby here, so just in case they should be moving over to the shallows. It could be a GG hit, to be honest, if the Delmo gets a hit in. Let's see if Laove manages to jabate the crossbows over. Not yet. Mangonel in the making. Good hit on the skirmisher group, and you could even out the situation here. Is this a tournament you're running? Yes, this is the 6th edition of the AOE Norway League, which I have been hosting through the last 2 years maybe, but this is a hidden edition. So we are playing under hidden identities, myself included. Yeah, only the best of the best players play, so this is Viper versus MPL, you know. Why isn't Akkal playing in it? He is playing in it. For all anyone knows, I could be playing here, because it's all casted from recorded games. Building Wretch knows I'm good at hiding my own identity while casting. So the previous Night in the Nations Hidden Cup, almost nobody had me guessed for the right player. We will indeed be casting this best of 7 final and then go to the reveal after. Shakuni is my admin for this one, so he's been doing great work at that. You got 0 people right. Yeah, then you're useless, so I can't help anything with that. Longswords again! Gunbesson Longswords! Laove, this has to be Vevi. Or nope, as a contender, but it has to be Vevi. Just really enjoys the infantry. Infantry enjoyer. That's what he is. Keeping some small stray armies here just to be annoying as well. If anything though, Vale is establishing a decent economic lead here. 2 Mangonel's gonna go down for 1 shot here. No! Only 1. But Laove keeps both, so good Mangonel micro here. Yeah, it's just Twitch's quote function, Andy. It has some improvement potential. Don't tell me 1 skirmisher is going to take out 1 Mangonel. I'm gonna cry if it does. Third town center on the way for Laove. Could be able to catch up in the eco numbers, but will need to do some eco damage to do so. Pretty decent land boom here for Vale. As opposed to Laove, Vale actually makes mills to drop off here and doesn't think he's Khmer all the time, so that's a bonus for the food income, of course. Longsword added. Are they gonna cut it against 20 plus crossbows and some siege weapons though? I'm not too sold on that. University going up for ballistics as well, going to be especially, well, extra useful against moving targets like this. Villagers scrambling to the repair and crossbows chasing. Here comes a Mangonel. That could be a deadly shot against this crossbow group. No more longswords. Still queuing them. 18 longswords. Hardly enough against 22 crossbows and Imperial Age on the way. Vale is on fire here. Vale wants to get to a faster Imperial Age than the Japanese here. He's got that sorted with very good margins, which means he'll have ballistics, bracer, maybe even chemistry for the soon to become Arbalest of the Dravidians. Gold count maybe a little on the low side. Let's see these quick walls there. Longswords entering. But it's still not, even with Gambezo and the Japanese faster attack, this isn't really that threatening. If you can conserve your crossbow mass, it's only 16 left of them, so Laube is using this as a distraction to distract Vale's attention away from the crossbows, and soon he'll have no crossbows to benefit from the Imperial Age Arbalest upgrade. Just like that. He's off gold as well. Longsword's doing decent. Even the Mangonel casually is rolling in over here now. Is Laube gonna turn this around? What is this? Villagers attacking the Mangonels now with Imperial Age Embracer. The crossbows will outrange them, but there's still 1 minute to go. Laube's timing is impeccable with this push, just as Vale is on the way to the Imperial Age. Economy at home not looking too shabby either. Some fish traps working away, farming economy extended. Japanese have decent cavalry, light cavalier, so they could play the mobility here as well. Unless you want to just keep adding longswords like there's no tomorrow, and just break down any production building with the mighty swordsman. So, Bracer on the way, that's going to help significantly against the Castle Age Longswordsmen, even if they have Gambes or a little bit pierced armor from that. Arbalest, not really affordable unless you sell all the wood. I don't really see them. There's the market. Wood selling decent. You could sell wood here if you're Vale and justify that Arbalest upgrade, but with maybe you'd want to go for numbers instead here. Has Vale better than Stormir, is behind the villagers now, is behind the military as well, but Laube is insisting upon the infantry play, and now the longswords will be denied entry again. Good defensive castle here near the crossing will force Vale to take a longer way around. Then again, Dravidians have the armored elephants, so you could get 3 or 4 armored elephants or more out and take out the castle with those without having to rely on a castle and trebuchets. Imperial Age on the way for Laube as well now. 150 something to go. Imperial Age advantage not having given Vale all that much chemistry coming in. Probably that's going to be the very latest one to kick in then. But we're going to need some siege to take down the castle in the middle, which Vale knows about. Could also loop the long way around and try to look for damage in the exposed area over here. But still has to deal with the longsword's threat as home as well, so needs to keep some crossbows or arbalists at home to deal with this as well. Great pump counter push by Laube. Yeah, well, the whole siege workshop coming up here now, is that going to be the elephants or bombard cannons perhaps, once chemistry completes? Only time will show, let's have a look at that. It's indeed going to be the armored elephants, which the crude and gold situation. No, it's gonna be the Bomber Cannons. Never mind. Hotkey mistake, perhaps. $29 longswords to potentially become two-handed swordsmen and champion here, but we also have a switch where some technologies added to benefit the elite skirmishes here. It's really the only unit out and about for Vale and has been for a while, has been the crossbows. Still not arbalest, but it is on the way now. Let's see if Bombard Cannon or arbalest will be enough to keep this away though. A bit worried about longswords, to be honest, but especially as the armor upgrades are coming in. And heaps of elite skirmishers in front here to, at the very least, deal with what's soon to become arbalest. More barracks! Couple of lucky hits on the skirmisher group, and we're still not going to discount Vale complete here. It's evolving into a post-Imperial game, this one, or at least mid-Imperial. Mangonel goes down, no problem there. How many town centers now for Lave? 5th town center coming up. It's economic extension, maybe just to secure another gold, really. Splitting the map in half now, but Vale's expansion is gold is eventually going to become an issue because these piles will be running out in not too long, and then you need to move out for these smaller ones, and they are more exposed. Could more easily be punished by your opponent. Decent Bomber cannon hits now. We're seeing something similar to the previous game, but the Death Bomb might not necessarily be as strong. Depends on how efficiently you can take out the elite skirmishes here. Bombard cannons not that efficient against two-handed swordsmen, soon to be champions, it seems. Arbalest group kind of one-shotting them. Is it going to be enough though? They're chasing the bomber cannons that have sort of a choke point here. Looked like the builder wanted to try and close that gap as well. Yeah, champions doing work. Elite skirmishers taking out arbalists from behind as well. Bombard cannons, they're all going down. Fantastic value from the champions in front here to chase down the bombard cannons and take out essentially all of them, leaving Vale in a position to have to remass, and now left with nothing against the elite skirmishers here. Vale desperately needs some means to deal with skirmishers. Maybe Onager, possibly. Could even make an argument for Dravidian's light cab here, but that's not something you really make. Yeah, the bomber cannons took a bad path, it seems. Castle being left unbuilt here. One bomber cannon still dealing decently with the trash units here, but the elite skirmish numbers and champions production escalating here. Lavawave's home economy hasn't been touched for a long time, and the Eco KD speaks for itself. It's 51 to only 2, so it says something about Vale's defensive position in this game. This isn't going to be easy to get back from. Vale is about to run out of gold. Indeed, it's just these two piles, and then we'll need to go over here for more gold. And looks like Lauvei is on top of things as well. Just going to stay close to this gold just to check for any expansion to this side. I think that's a sneak raid. I think he wants to break through that palisade gate and expose some of the farming economy as well. Casting complete, but for how long? 2 Japanese trebuchets firing away here. Didn't catch whether the Yasama is researched. We have some towers, guard towers going up to the side as well. Could get Yasama if they don't have it already. And Lauve just manifesting the position to the side here. This is creeping towards a 2-2 for sure. Oh, the game is over and Akkal checks his phone. I check the phone at any point in games. You just wouldn't know if I didn't have a camera. Oh, Lee versus Lauve. Yeah. Indeed, that's the final matchup. Once again, I'm going to go back to the draft with the Japanese and Dravidians here. That would be the Japanese winning against the Dravidians, which some of us have strong opinions about. Papaya Pit, myself, and OG Daddy included. This should lead us towards a Lauve home map next, actually, which will be more close maps, I guess. Gold Rush or Quarry. Gold Rush, Berbers, quite likely could be Franks for the castle in the middle as well. Whereas for Vale, Britons for Quarry perhaps. Byzantines could work on Gold Rush even if you're not dependent upon the gold and middle position. Yeah, we'll see. Let's see what game 5 brings us. Yes, indeed, the Gold Rush. We have Koreans versus Hindustanis. So my immediate thought here is that Hindustanis Gulams could come in handy here. I don't know how they would trade against War Wagons, maybe not great. But if the Koreans goes for an extended archers play, then the Gulams could come in real handy. Fast forward, let's go. 0 papaya pits in this final, says Mats. Mats, aren't you on rehearsal? Or are you done? I've been casting for 2 hours, so you're probably done with your öving then. Now we've sort of come to the conclusion that Vale could be Rody, and Lauve we're still, most of us, convinced it's Vevi. Should I fast forward, Andy? Or was that the previous game? You're excited for the reveal. Okay, this Gold Rush generation. As far as closing off the map goes, Vale has won the lottery here. He could just wall to the edge here, wall between the lines, wall in towards the TCL limit, and he's hermetically sealed. Whereas Lauve finds himself in a similar position, but it's a broader section because the right hand side is wide open, and the gold is all the way out here as well. Whereas Vale could at least secure. No, actually, if he walls between the woodlines, he's leaving the golds exposed, so you need to work his way around that. Gold Rush. Wolf Rush isn't out of the question. I mean, if you make just 1 militia here, you could, or maybe 2, but let's say 1, you could walk in this direction deliberately, bring all 8 wolves with you and try to nudge them into your opponent's base on the woodline or the berries or whatever. The berries are in the back though, so that's a bit, makes it a bit awkward, but the woodline is very forward, so if someone even thinks about that as an option, that could actually be a real annoyance for Lauve. Thanks for the follow, Nevet. Yeah, this is the Hidden Cup 4 map script, so the deer are definitely closer than is the case for many maps these days. At Someone said they only changed it for Arabia, but I'm not sure how accurate that is. Look at the sheep how far out they spawn though. It's gonna take you forever to find those, and greedy as Vale is pushing in the zebras first, which means that when or if Lave moves out to scout here, if Lave wasn't as greedy, Lave could pick up the jackpot of 4 exposed goats forward there. Yeah, but Cenotes has always been far away. But it's gone even worse, I guess, but... Okay, we're walling off the left-hand side, making an infantry opening awkward for Vale. Just one house foundation, maybe a palisade here, and you've closed that one off as well. Alright, we'll listen to Addy and we'll speed it up a little bit here for the Dark Age. You've seen the maps, you've seen the safe back gold there for Laube, 4-tile gold and 3-tile gold, more exposed for Bale. So, certainly not ideal. And neither of them finds these sheep, that's funny. Finally, Bale actually finds all the sheep in the end, or goats, as we say. Looks like it's a scouts opening for Vale for this one. Gonna try to use the scouts to speed up a little bit here the game pace, and but scouts, is that the right play here now? You're not going to find a way through the walls here now, and that's the setback of being as greedy with the opening, pushing it all the way out. Why the fuck are you scouting in the back here? I just want to make sure it's not open on this one. Couldn't you have left to the villagers to do that? You need to be here now to see the walls going up and scouts opening being almost useless. Yeah. So I don't think the Hindustani scouts will be doing too much here. They do have extra bonus damage against buildings. It's not much, but it's 2. So you could still catch your opponent off guard and break through the palisade before they can quick wall behind you. But we'll see how many scouts will be made in the end here. Securing at least 1 gold to the side here. Both golds obviously scouted long ago. And Vale is going in the wrong direction because Vale hasn't been asked to scout the opponent base until this very moment. So that's some precious time wasted, allowing Laove to completely seal the base and just turtle his way towards the fast castle area, it looks like. Barracks has been made, to be fair. Is it going to be blacksmith range now, perhaps? Blacksmith going up. Range about to be afforded now. And we're just going to skip the full feudal age here, because why not? When you have a base like this. Funnily enough, I said that Vale has a nice and easily wallable base, but Laove pulled it off somehow, and it's not that far. I guess it's close to the edge of the map, so we get that one sorted. 5 scouts, already an overinvestment unless Vale is able to get in somehow. But I don't think Laove is going to allow that to happen because the villager is just casually making a house behind here, making it impassable once they break through the palisade area. Here's Cesarsak. He's not watching the game, he's only watching the camera. That's fine. It's a double IPA Arsak. I bought it in Manchester before I returned after Land Madness a couple of weeks ago. So it's strong stuff, it's like 8% alcohol, I think. Watching the handsomeness. Get out of here. It's pretty good stuff. Foggy. Yep, scouts, no value whatsoever, 5 of them, so Vale at least stopped making them, but far behind in the progression to the next stage. No war wagon, surprisingly, for Lava yet. No stone mining whatsoever. Probably just going to drop a TC or 2 now. Just to capitalize on that earlier castle age and the economy advantage it could give. Yeah, more farms, because why not? Lavi doesn't really, I mean, doesn't strictly need military yet. Made a few spears against the scouts, which is fine. Vale, not really the follow-up here, only made the scouts, now made quite a few farms, so is going to enter the castle age with a healthy food economy to allow for continued cavalry spam. But neither player has gone to stone, so they are not rushing the fact to claim that they need to claim middle control at some point. Okay, good scouts control here, just to dodge the spears. No additional town center either. Archers being made, so crossbows, well, botgun is coming in, crossbows should come in as well. Will it be in time to break through? Woodline here is very exposed, the gold is exposed as well. So Vale's home base at risk here. Probably won't be able to mine enough stone to get a defensive castle up in time either with this kind of castle age timing. But never say never. Let's see if the archers will move out soon. No, Lauve isn't stressing a thing here. Hey, how did he find a way in here? Has it been here all the time since the since before the walls went up? Or is there an opening in the back? No, there's not. That must have been something that wasn't completed. Actually, kind of looks like Vale is looking for the opening as well. So, crossbow Bodkin is in for Lave, only 7 crossbows though, and resources nothing too crazy here. Hindustan is going to be looking a lot more healthy here with the, even with the scouts investment behind. Second town center for Lave now. Honestly, why now? Why not just right after the castle age hit? Crossbow timing could be good though, but okay, there was indeed decent amount of stone there. Can that be denied? The scout is on point, sees the castle go up. The crossbows from behind could settle here, and I think they range everything. This could be GG if the villagers don't complete this castle. Yeah, I don't think this castle can go up for Vale. It's not a lot of crossbows. Okay, so Vale really commits there. Commits basically all of the economy to get this castle up. It's a good defensive castle, secures the stone for potential more castles. But no, I know he didn't have wood when he hit castle Lauve, but it just looked like that was the plan, and should have been the plan to extend the economy at that point. So a little bit too few on wood, that's true. Still weak spots here. You could still hit the gold from outside the castle range. And you could try and break through over here, but you're not going to get into the base, but you could still pick off some gold miners, perhaps. Yep, that's the only gold for Vale, so Vale needs to bail now. There's that TC. I thought Lauve had scouting in here, so not really going to be able to do too much here. Could obstruct the wood line. This wood line is already taken out, but that's going to be secured by a new town center over here, so good defensive thinking from Vale here. But it's getting punished. 0 on wood now, until this town center can go over. Imagine a second wave of crossbows moving over here at that point. That would be value. I guess you could get in here and It's just gonna take a long time to get through this house. Scout moving out again. Going to see if there's any attempt that gets into the other gold. And behind this Lauve is establishing sort of a villager lead. Once again the longswords! Korean longswords! Aren't we pushing the whole longsword idea a little bit now? Gulams in the queue now for Vale. As Lauve spots the towns that are going up here. Even without particular upgrades, this should be a relatively easy cleanup for the Gulam. 5 bonus attack against archers. It's like the budget eagle for the Hindustanis. Suddenly, I like the Hindustani spot more here now. 25 on food for Lauve though, so arguably a healthier food count. Meaning a potential earlier Imperial Age, which means that the defensive castle would be down sooner as well. I'm obviously not loving the Koreans longsword situation here, but I mean, whatever floats your boat. Trying to flex it with the infantry play here. It's 2-2. So it's all to play for. I guess it kind of makes sense against the Gulams, so they should be weak against melee units. They're especially weak against the cavalry, I think, but they shouldn't be trading too well against the longswords either. Similar hit points, yes, but longswords quite simply have... Wait, they don't have higher attack? I thought longswords would have higher attack. Shit, maybe they're decent against longswords after all. Siege Workshop for Vale seems to enjoy the Indian DLC seems as well. This is the second Indian DLC pick. May have feared, what was it, Franks from Lauve's draft for this map as well. Or did they have Franks himself? Uh-oh. It's a carnage! Those poor wild wolves. One thing though is that the barracks produce, or there's only one castle to produce the Gulams, but you could make unlimited barracks to produce longswords, so it's much easier to master longswords for Lauve than it is for Bali to collect to master Gulams. Technically not Indian DLC Civ. I disagree. They got lots of changes. They're not Indians anymore. They're Hindustanis. So their changes came with the Indian DLC Civs. That's true. Still a new civilization in my eyes. Good Scorpion edition here from Vale. Gulams will be trading surprisingly well here as the longswords take out the Scorpion, but the Gulams absolutely slay. Wow! I had no idea Gulams would trade that well against other infantry. Yeah, they're India but not DLC. Fine, if you want to be that picky about it. Fine. Castle in the middle for now. I like that. As the okay, there's still gold at home base for Vale, so or Valley. It's not a big deal, but don't think there's any denying this castle, which means some of these villagers could go down as well as they're trying for a castle in the middle as well. Longswords here to defend. Yeah, immediately recognizes that castle needs to go down. Further away. It's true they don't have that bonus against Indian Eagles. Thanks for the follow, Staghawk. What about Rhodey? Military count dead even, eco count almost dead even as well. I mean, what does Koreans do here? Their halberdiers are lacking the last attack, but they're decent, I guess. But then again, if you mass war wagons, Hindustanis could get to their Imperial camels and chase them down and trade okay-ish. Longswords doesn't make sense to be at all here, especially not since the Gulam are staying them. And now we have 2 castles to produce the Gulam from. Seems to be producing relatively quickly as well. Vale very insistent upon 1 unit for a prolonged amount of time though. Imperial Age now on the way for Laove. Good. Second castle going up in the middle as well. Makes for a good potential for a Trebs war in the middle, but Vale needs... No, Laove needs some unit to defend the attacking trebuchets come the Imperial Age. Can't really go into Arbalists anymore because of the massive Gulams on the field. Longswords, well, with the early Imperial Age you get to 200 Swordsman Champion. Castle Age upgrades, Imperial Age upgrades. I'm still not sold on it. But yeah, you need something to defend a Treb push from the middle. But if you manage to break through the base, then suddenly your longswords will do a lot more damage. This Viper vs MBL confirmed. Yes. I rigged them both in for the admin win players, so Yggdrasil would feel better about losing to Vale because in fact he lost against MBL. Right. Okay, we are going for the war wagons. So war wagons with longswords meat shield in front. Is that the idea? Yeah, about as fake as it gets, Arzak. Could be we've seen Snippy play here. He's also played the Hidden Cup, but there's been way too little scouts to justify that, I think. Imperial Age is in. Finally, the second arbor for the... That could have been an issue as well, the lack of infantry upgrades for the Koreans infantry. One Treb. Surely we'll afford another one as well. Do we have a market here? We have market. So resources gold could easily be tweaked, or sell some wood, sell some food to afford more trebuchets. Vale confined to home base here, trying for some stone walls here to keep war wagons and other kind of raid shenanigans out, like the soon to become 200 swordsmen. But that castle of Vale is also in the Imperial Age, but he technically... He has 2 castles to produce trebs from as well, but as you saw, Laove was getting an early conscription here, so Laove will be producing the trebuchets faster. We'll be getting all upgrades and units to produce faster as well. Could be a huge advantage here in the current state of the game, as they are tied in military and economy and everything. Alright. Still insisting upon the Gulams, but the infantry situation is getting worrisome for Laove here. Okay, hand cannoneers now being added. Rhodey confirmed. Trebuchet number 4 in the queue, and from the full HP castle. I like that. Produces faster because of conscription. As said, I don't think this castle can stay up long for Vale. Vale is running low on stone, in fact running out of stone. Did not mind the back stone at all yet. 200 swordsmen moving over at the perfect time now to snipe these 2 trebuchets before the Ghulams can even react. And some war wagons to back from behind that. Let's see the Ghulams though. They're missing. No, they are equal in upgrades, but now having 200 swordsmen, the attack situation is quite different between the units. The Ghulams won't trade nearly as well at this point. Now adding more war wagons. Only 1 castle left for the main unit of Vale over here. Going to lose Ghulams rapidly over here, trying to get some bombard cannon shots in to diminish the infantry numbers, but as you can see, the replenishment is already going on for Lauvey, getting good trades here. Vale down to 8 military, Lauvey at 25. Eco situation still comparable, but with the middle lost, Vale is going to have big gold struggles once this gold runs out. No bracer for the war wagon set, even though it's technically affordable if you tweak the resources a little bit. More rangers scrambling up for Vale here, but probably not too competent in the score situation. This could be another Lauvey game, turning it into a 3-2 here. And there it is. Wall off fast castle for Lauvey into some questionable infantry play, but in Imperial Age it paid off as the two-handeds have way better stats than the Castle Age Ghulams. I don't usually look at score that much, it doesn't matter that much, but map position is a completely different story. It's like 10% of the map, 20% of the map now maximum for Vale, whereas Lauvey controls the rest. That would be the Koreans taking that one off the Hindustanis, leaving us with, let's go to the maps again, potential match point here now on a Vale home map again, which should be, it has to be cross then, because we've already seen bypass and bay, so now it has to be cross if I remember the tournament picking order correctly. Let's have a look at the stats before we go into the next game. Big fight here, as you can see. Hindustan is losing a lot. Massive, I was going to say massive difference in the Imperial Age, but that actually wasn't more than about a minute. I think it comes down to that early conscription made a difference there for Lauvey. In fact, Vale was never really in a position to get it because Vale needed those trebs being later to the Imperial Age. Right, moving into game 6. Potential match point would have to be cross, another hybrid map. Here we go. Game 6 on cross, indeed. Hans Business, of course that's the Sibs. Why didn't I think that far? Right. Now, who do we favor here? We have the Huns that could get an amazing economy running here with once they get by the fact that they start with 100 less wood, because they never need to build houses. So you could, in theory, fish boom or all 4 lakes here while pumping out army, because you're never going to worry about getting housed. Of course, the population space is always the same when you are at 200 pop, but that's more of an Imperial Age concern. Cross hybrid map, as you can see, is about contesting both the corner lakes, which brings a good almost 2k food if you count the shorefish. A little bit more actually, 2,400 food in each of these corners. But since it's the Hidden Cup cross map and not 4 lakes in the ranked queue, you also have some relics to fight for in the corners, in addition to the relics around the map. So this map has 8 relics total, doesn't it? Yep. So certainly something you need to keep in the back of your mind. Byzantines, all of the defensive options here. No economic bonus in the Dark Age. Huns technically have one with their wood savings, but they also start with 100 less wood, so they need to compensate for that maybe by adding one more lumberjack a little bit earlier. Your dock will be a little bit delayed compared to most civilizations as well. But as the game goes on, with all the hills around this map, Huns cavalry archer play could be strong. Then again, Byzantines much cheaper, skirmishers much cheaper, spearman line not much cheaper, but cheaper camels as well. So they have all the counter units at a cheaper cost. They have stronger buildings, which means they'll take longer to take out through siege options. They just have all of the responses to play defensively, and Vale seems to be a decent defender. Just play the safe long game and push back at the appropriate moment. Let's move this one forward a little bit as well. Perks of casting recorded games here. Looks like the dock's timing isn't that different. Norway seems to have overcome that wood deficiency from the start and is pumping out some fish without having to worry about getting house or anything. Norway manages to snag a couple of pigs there, but Vale just picks them right back. Feudal Age timings ahead for the Huns here. I think this is going to be another scouts opening for Norway, but the barracks timing's a bit off. Only halfway there with the Feudal Age kicking in, so would have maybe needed 2 villagers to complete that in time for scouts first to kick off. Already a second dock for Vale over here. Or Vali. Vali. It's pretty early second dock, but it certainly reinforces your fish situation. 3 fish, I think 4 or 5 would be decent here as well, but maybe 3 is okay because you're at least not overcompensating. Could spread it out through several lakes instead. Scouts for the Huns. Barracks coming up just now for Vale as well, probably expecting something like that from the Huns now with the uptime and all. Economic lead for Norway, more fish, most importantly, and that lead is probably going to increase because of the never getting housed of the Huns, which will lead to less idle towns at a time overall, I think, as the game goes on. Or idle eco time, I should say. As you will be also indirectly saving economically through the fact that your villagers will never have to build houses. Still open-ish on Vale's side, so scouts certainly could have potential here. Let's see what the spearman situation is. 2 spears out and about. Also queuing some fishing ships up north. What you'll see sometimes on this map with the new corners or lakes you contest, you'd send send out a galley, produce a galley, not to really contest it, but to deny the other player docking. But it is also a smart move, use that docking villager to scout the corner. Yeah, just misses the corner. There could have been a dock in that corner that Vali doesn't see, but it's not the case. Now moving further to Lauve's corner, trying to sneak a dock up here to contest these fish. 7 fish! I think that's more than enough, although we could make an argument for fish moving later. 5 scouts spread out across the map, giving important scouting intel, like seeing that a dock has been placed in the north, but more importantly claiming the map and denying movements like this for Vali to get sneak docks up in the corners. It's about to become 2 docks per player, more than enough wood here to place one for Lauve. Keeps the military close as well, I like that, keeping the villager safe. So, 2 docks per player. Vali is about to be full walled, as is Lauve. Quite common to see walling towards the edge on a cross like this, because that effectively eliminates any chance of a sneak villager if you do it in time. It's going to be the archers for Vali and a decent chunk of spearmen as well, so as not to run into any unpleasant surprises from Hans scouts, whereas Lauve has gone for a few skirmishes here, seeing the range of Vali, maybe seeing the archers investment as well. Well, he definitely sees the archers now, and spearmen in front as well, which means that the scouts alone can't engage. Scouts and skirmishers out of position for Lauve could be dangerous here. He's pulling the skirmishers over, should be able to chase away this army before any breakthrough can be made. 10 builders on berries, wow. They're both heavy on the berries, what's going on? Castle Age timings nearly a minute apart, giving the Huns some Castle Age advantage here. Going to follow up with cavalry archers, as you would expect from the Huns. 20% discount on the cavalry archers. In addition to that, their stables produce 20% faster as well as the team bonus. Let's see if Vali reacts here. Pulls away the army. Yep. Skirmish defense doing what it should for Lauve. I think Vali should still be able to hold off against this. Now preparing a stable. Has he seen the double range? Hasn't really seen it, but being up against the Huns, you could still kind of expect it. Oh, Spearman getting 3 hits there. Good, okay, 1 scout down for nothing. And now, Lauve has been able to sneak dock the top side here as well. Got a few fire galleys out. 3 fire galleys, more than enough to take this out. Vali, however, got a dock up in the south as well, which Lauve just spotted. Yes, indeed, the cavalry archers might be able to get some sneak hits in on the wood line over here and over here, but all in all, base hermetically sealed now for Vali, so the cavalry archers won't be able to do too much. But you could run around and punish the fish investment as well with the cavalry archers if you don't want to commit too heavily to naval armies. So going for triple ranges like this, even with the Hunt's bonus, it would usually mean an extended 1000er play. So besides you have the fish food income as well, so you're not as dependent upon extending your farming economy at home base to keep producing what you feel like. War Galley, that's a huge upgrade to make for these relatively small investments going on there. Fire galleys in the making. Okay, I guess if you get 2 fire galleys out, or fire ships rather, then you clean up the Byzantines here relatively easily. Byzantines fire galleys fire faster though, so that's also something to keep in mind. Oh, just peeking, just visiting. They're gonna be out again soon enough. It's about to be 3 lakes for Laove, so that frees up some. Right, Bali might have this one, depending on how patient Laove is in the amassing of units here. It will probably need a 3rd one because of the Byzantine bonus, but it tries to go for it. And if you're microwave some point and you focus one after the other, you might be okay here. It's the 3rd one in the queue, so it should be alright. Vali isn't really queuing anymore. Neither of them are fishing here, but to be fair, Laove lost some ships over here, but Vali is also losing topside. Unless, okay, with 3 fire galleys you could clean this up, but dock is dangerously close to going down. They will force ungarrison the ships over here because of the damage done. It's got the numbers and faster firing rate. Should be able to win that fight over there. Camels cleaning up some skirmishes over here, but the cavalry archers find a way into right into the TC. To be fair, they could have just run past there, but they're probably afraid of running into more camels over here. So Vali is doing great work at keeping these 3 docks over here. Not any sign of any additional investment into fire galleys here. Laove seems more focused on land at this point. Neither player anywhere near a Imperial Age click. Vali, however, 2 town centers and extending the farming economy. Has the cheaper Imperial Age with the Byzantines as well. Might be in a better spot overall here. Patient massing of cavalry archers for Laove as well. Not really any great response to that from Vali. Is making the camels. If they get close, it's fine. But if you have cavalry archers with husbandry, actually they have it. So the camels are marginally faster. For another point of entry. But the camels pierce armor situation is a different story. Also, Byzantine camels don't get bloodlines, so Laove could just stay in choke points here and take out camels from a distance, because it will take them some time and effort to catch up. And in the meantime, you'll hit and run with the cavalry archers to deal with the relatively low pierce armor camels. Go Vali, says Eds. Doesn't want Rody to win this, apparently. Or does want Rody to win this, depending. Doesn't want Devi to win this. Would be the more correct thing to say. If we have the players right. We don't know. We want game 7. It's actually impossible to tell at this moment who is in the better spot, because it's 3 legs for Vali, which is usually a good sign. So a 3rd TC going up as well. And Vali has been picking almost exclusively hybrid maps as home maps, so clearly comfortable with the hybrid situation. Always cheering for myself. Oh, there we go. We're all finalists, aren't we? I'm gonna go ahead and reveal that I have Laove then. So we both should be sitting here backseating. We should be focusing on our games. Gold situation for Lavi getting good. Partly because of the relics. 2 relics collected. Could be more as the game goes on. TC on the neutral gold as well. So creeping up for more map control there. Cavalry Archers not able to, or not willing to, enter Vali's base though. Papaya is not the finalist, there's no Tatars in the draft. It's not necessarily a Tatars map pool though, Mats. But I'd like to see a game 7 as well, because the last map would be... would the last map be? Would be Quarry, I think we haven't had yet. So it would be a nice finisher map, even if these players both have turtling tendencies. Like that matters, Pete. Pete said himself in the side-up that he prefers to pick meta sims for any map. So you could make an argument for Tatars here, of course, with the hills. But they're not the strongest hybrid map civilizations. Campbell count increasing to dangerous numbers for Vali here. Norway still set better for the Imperial Age, perhaps, but Byzantines is cheaper to go to the Imperial Age, so could either be a earlier Imperial Age here for the Byzantines by good margins, which would mean heavy camel and the plate barding armor. Yeah, full random doesn't suit drafting really very well. Unless you want to do a full random draft, which in theory you could do, I guess. And it would be very visible to your opponent. Eco KD only 4-4 so far. So these are clearly players with great defensive capabilities. A little bit of food buying here. Vali wants to go for the Imperial Age. Wheelbarrow coming in just now. Better late than never, as they say. Again, trying to find a point of entry. Yeah, just picking off villagers, sneaky cavalry archers dancing around here. So much gold in the bank though. Why aren't you buying your way to the Imperial Age here? Where's the market? Most important building in the game, I tell you. Yeah. Laove doesn't have a market, so Laove can't use that gold to buy Imperial Age. Maybe you should consider it though, because Vali is now with 2 minutes to go for the Imperial Age. More importantly, getting to heavy camels and the appropriate armor. Also a little bit surprised Laove hasn't invested more into some kind of a pike situation or anything. Maybe believes in the cavalry archers being enough to pick off camels at a distance. But mixing in a decent chunk of pikes against the Byzantine camels here would have made sense, I think. There's 3 legs for Vali here. Is the economic lead. It's because of the fishing ships mostly. But yeah, definitely no reason to give up at all here for Vali, even if we're looking at a dangerous and increasing mass of cavalry archers. Did Laove actually buy Imperial Age? No. Earned it fair and square. 51 on wood now, only 9 on gold, but 4 relics. Definitely boosting that passive gold income. And look at the gold. You don't even need to mine gold at this moment. There's so much gold in the bank, really conserving it for the potential late game against the Byzantines here. You never know when you need to go into something full champions or whatever to maybe not with the hunts, but something to deal with the Byzantines trash when they have run out the gold. Good castle spot in the middle for Vale here, but will it go up with that kind of mass of cavalry archers close to it? Yes, the Campbells come to help out. Ranges are for elite skirmishers, I'm sure. So it's going to be elite skirmisher Campbell. Seems like a decent combination against this army composition. But Laove also massing pikes finally. Knowing well that they have lots of bonus damage against Campbells. How many cowardress does it take to take out the Byzantine barracks? The answer is apparently more than 58. Oh, dangerous timing here for Laove, as the heavy camels are in. At great timing, on the other hand, for Valley. But it's a good choke point here for the cavalry archers to stack up and still take advantage of the fact that heavy camels, pierce armor for sure, but they don't do well in choke points against cavalry archers like this. Chemistry Bracer immediately hit here for Laue, and look at the resources in the bank compared to the Byzantines here. Even with only one lake, now with some fish traps working, Laue is in a great spot here. Heavy cavalry archer shouldn't be a stretch to afford here either, but this seems more fixated upon getting the halberdier upgrade and the appropriate infantry upgrades, which I think makes sense. Only missing the attack upgrades now. Castle completes on the hill. However, Laove now with 9 on stone going to get the castle up as well. Would have he's making a castle, so never mind. It's also getting a castle up. Not easy to fight. Byzantine's castle uphill though, as Vali claims another hill over here. That's going to go up uncontested as Parthian tactics come in as well. Heavy cavalry archer is in. Chemistry is in. Fully upgraded 54. Well, not fully upgraded since we don't have the defense upgrades just yet, but close to fully upgraded heavy cavalry archers for Laove in a deadly mass for sure. Cataphracts for Vali. They are not going to deal well with the heavy cavalry archers, and they're not really a response to the halberdiers either, but maybe he's afraid of the Huns longswords this game. Maybe he's afraid Laue will try another infantry masterpiece like several of the other games. Also no some fish traps for yellow, nothing too crazy. There's still deep fish to be eaten. Once again with the hand cannoneers, trademark Gustavino. At least according to what he says about his own playstyle. But the hand cannoneers obviously make sense, as there are halberdiers out in the field. Come on, Roldy, you don't go hand cannoneer versus hands, man. Can't say I disagree. And one fact to note is that the Hunt's trebuchets are more accurate as well, so they do well in trebuchet fights. And speaking of trebuchets, we don't have a single trebuchet from Bali just yet. While we have 2 trebs from the Hunts. No, not yet. Because we're Popcat. We're freaking Popcat at 200 for both players. So the other trebuchets won't be popping out in time. Now we will actually need to delete some villagers here to... Or fishing ships to... Yeah, maybe not fishing ships. Villagers to make room for the treb. That's a bit unfortunate when you want to deal with the castles here, not to have your more than 1 trebuchet to push with. Especially not against a 6,720 HP castle. Looks like Hoardings is in for Lauvey because the castle is at 5280 HP. And where this woman is going, I have no idea whatsoever. Maybe a misclick. Maybe a sneak stable. Sneak stable's in the corner. Where are you going? Outpost! This is not the time for outpost rushing woman. Okay, back to the treb fight. Has the heal advantage, to be fair. So that should be something like 600 per hit. No, only 400. Because the castle is also on elevation. Fully upgraded heavy cavalry archers though. So Vali really needs not hand cannoneers but elite skirmishers, and that's exactly what it's doing. Second trebuchet about to pop up here. Hussar spam later on should not be any problem here for Lauvey. With that kind of food com, might have to resort to some food selling to sustain the gold situation as well. They're splitting the map in half here now, but there's still 3 lakes for Vali. Something that the economic situation doesn't really justify here. Halberdiers to pick off some camels over here, freeing up some pop space for Vali for the skirmishers, so maybe that's not a bad thing for the yellow player. However, no way any melee units are going to get close enough to these trebuchets to take them out with the heavy cavalry archers here. Why the cataphracts? Elite skirmishers now, as Lauvey should have been expecting at this point, that he has been expecting it and has the hussars in mass in queue over here. So even the elite skirmishers, which shouldn't really be enough to stop the Huns' power on the hill over here. Castle stays up for now for Vali, but it's just a matter of time until that one goes down. However, Lauvey would benefit from using the hill as well. Obviously doesn't want to get too close to this castle, so that might be an issue. Could also reinforce the push with some siege trams or something, or try to push from a different angle. Great vision on the map for Lauvey now sees everything essentially because of the town watch and town patrol of the Byzantines as well. Vali has the military lead still, although forced into the trash switch here. Camel's gonna go down. They're not gonna get close enough to the heavy cavalry archers for sure. Hussars, I think it's a population cap issue. Not producing nearly enough hussars here to take out these skirmishers. So this is playing into Vali's favor here. But now as units go down, the hussars will pop out. Castle goes down. Hussars now free to get close to the elite skirmishers and take them down. This is going to be a 4-2, isn't it? Vali not able to produce enough or the right kind of unit to stop this kind of Huns death ball with 4 incredibly accurate Huns trebuchets. It's not going to be able to produce enough with this economy. Yeah, still some wood and food in the bank to pump out trash units, but look at Lauvey's economy behind this, and 4 relics providing that passive gold income as well, which in theory means that Lauvey will never run out of gold. GG well played, get up this. GG well played, congratulations. Reverse sweep from Lauvey after being 2-1 down from Vali here. Well played, well played. And we will be moving into the reveal shortly. GG's indeed. 6 games to the final. We're the opponent for Norway this volley. See some dips in the military. Mostly camels going down, maybe some trash units as well. Not a long-term solution. And good thing the Byzantines don't have bloodlines because they have so many strong options. We all know who Yggdrasil was, Ken, but now we'll know for sure. Uptime's comparable. Imperial Age a bit later for Norway. Didn't seem to be much of an issue. Though Huns would benefit even more from an earlier Imperial Age for the Treb Wars with their more accurate Trebs, but they pulled it off. GG, well played. Congratulations, Norway. Right, just gonna make sure that everything is in place here. Where's my overview here? Let's just make it do it the easy way. Right. Let's find Shakuni's PowerPoint. Or maybe it's not a PowerPoint. Did you bet on any? No, we didn't make any. We didn't make any prediction. That's bad on me. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna pick up another beer before revealing, just to keep you guys waiting. Beer back. Alright, here we go. In Cup Norway edition, start in slideshow mode before going to next slide. Okay, thanks for tuning. Slideshow mode. Here we go. Let's try this one. I think that should be. We'll lose the chat, but there's no better way of doing it, I think. Well, let's see this. Let me know if anything is hiding anything. We might need to work on something. Okay, slideshow mode. Let's reveal the players from the round of 16, I presume. No. Everyone at once. Nope. Okay. Round of 16 players. Let's see who is who here. Heimdall versus Njord. Njord was Mats. So whoever Heimdall was made it past the first round. That was a nice set, by the way. Njord won pretty epic unfinished castle. Bragi was Papaya bit. It was out in the first round against Hell, which we have been thinking might have been just for fun. People guessed me as Fenrir. I didn't hide myself well enough this time. I was hoping that people would pick up on that I was very patient about hotkey pauses and paused in the game to fix hotkeys and blah blah blah. But probably didn't show that well enough in the cast. I also had massive hotkey issues because they fucked up everything. Yggdrasil Arsak, big surprise. Frigg was like Simulator, so he never was able to complete that set. So that's why an admin win was given to Thor for the next round. Then we have Andy, who was Tyr, which I don't think anyone guessed. I don't remember who I had for Andy. Loki was just for... What the hell? Then who the hell is Hell? Wow. Okay, Straumodes is out. That means that Tiger is still in here. Nope is still in here. Vevi is still in here. Rhodey is still in here. Let's go for the next round reveal. Heimdall. No. Yeah, Heimdall, Balder, Thor, and Freya. Snippy is still in there. And Eds is still in there. It is Ed. Woo! Heimdall being Momo. That was a fantastic set, that one. Even though Hell made his way through it. Balder being Ken. Okay. Okay. I had a feeling I was against one of the lower rated players, relatively speaking. Me and Ken are quite similar. But, okay. Nice. Wouldn't have guessed Ken there. Well played. Nice set. Thor is Nope. So he missed out against what we think is Vevi. We were quite sure that's what. Snippy. Still here. But he lost to Siv, which could be Tiger. And why do I know Siv is Tiger? Because Tiger freaking sent a ranked game named Tiger in the recorded games as the fake game file for this route. So that's a disqualified Tiger for that one. Revealing everything. Shame on you, Tiger. But you didn't win, so it's fine. It's fine. Hell was Ed's 97, okay. So you were about as crazy as Just for Fun. A lot of people guessing you as... or Hell as Just for Fun. But actually, to be honest, I saw it as Tiger from the first round of 16, both from the way he wrote in the scheduling channel and from the playstyle. So I'm happy with that. I've had Sib as Tiger from round of 16 from the moment I casted that. Okay, so that leaves us with... Who's left? Ed's out there, Vale... Still not here. That leaves us with Rhodey and Vevi, don't we? Gustavinho, aka Rhodey, as Vale. Good guess, Hoya. Thumbs up to you. You may have it... yeah, you may have the most correct, Hoya. Vevi, aka Lauvi, takes the championship. Press next to play the victory song. Uh-oh. That's Shakuni trolling us again. Press next. Ah! Oh yeah, you had to come up with something. Nice. Nice one, Shakuni. Nice way to end it. That seemed a little bit loud, that's why I stopped it, basically. But this is the final bracket. some surprises here. But overall, overall nice one. Lauve being very obviously not showing here. Only Brain not showing. Straumadas. Here's one we thought could have been one of the forfeiting ones. Yeah, good job on that, Snippy. GG, well played. It was a fun one.